Hey, can you send me that? Well, how many times have you heard these words and you freeze, not sure what to do next? Well, this episode will break down the tasks of sending a document from your iPhone, your iPad, or Mac computer just to make it easier for you. We'll cover documents, files, pictures, and show you how to do all of it from any of your Apple devices. So stay tuned. Well, I find the more we move to mobile lives, the more I want to use my phone for more things, connecting with people, etc. So sending documents is just another extension of that. Most of the time, you use the share button from an iPhone or an iPad. It looks like a piece of paper with an arrow pointing up. So let's say you want to send a picture or a video. Select the document that you want to send, the picture or the video, and then just find it in your photo library. And when you pick it, it goes to like a full screen. So you look at the bottom of the screen, you want to see that it has this share button down the bottom, and you just press it. And next, you'll have the option to pick more pictures if you want to. You can scroll sideways. A picture that you have selected will have a little blue check mark in the bottom, and you can move that picture to the side one way or the other if you want to pick the next picture in the stack, or just let's start with just sending that one picture. So pick the way you want to send it. Now, some of the recent people you've sent to are right below the picture itself, but pay attention to the little icon below their photo. It tells you how the person will receive what you're sending, whether it's messaging or WhatsApp, or it might be a group of people. So just watch that. If you don't see the person there, then go down below that and select either messages or mail. Now, if you don't have or use Apple Mail, that's the native program that they have for email in your device, it would need to be set up first before you can use the mail option. So let's assume messages here. That application will be open, and you'll see your picture embedded in the message area. So then enter their name in the to field. So just start typing it, and once you see them fully appear, then select them and add comments if you want to the comment box that's down below, and then hit send, which is, in this case, the up arrow, and it's a blue up arrow when you're ready to send it. So that's one example. Another example is if you want to send a file. Now, iPhone lets you do that, and it's the same for iPad. So did you know you have access to all your files from your computer on your phone if you use iCloud and if you've stored them there? And that's maybe another whole lesson on just talking about iCloud. We can do it a different time. So you just open, if you do, the Files app. And Files is just another app in your list. It looks like a blue folder. And you'll have to do a little navigating once you open up the Files app to get to the folder where the file is stored in. Files will normally open in the last place you opened it. So you use the back arrow that's at the top left to find the folder. And you have that document stored in one of your many folders perhaps. So you just find that folder and then open that folder up and select the file. Now, depending on what kind of file it is, iPhone or iPad will open the program that's associated with it. So if you have, for example, a Pages document, this is one of their word processing programs, or a photo, or a video, it will open the associated program. Now, a little side note, Apple products are unique in some ways. The devices all are linked together in what people call an ecosystem of devices. So if you can access from your phone or your iPad or your computer all the same things. And they each come with free programs. So Pages is one example of that. Numbers is their spreadsheet program. Keynote is like a PowerPoint presentation program. And even Notes, which is another program that just allows for short note-taking. Windows has equivalents of all of these. They typically use the Microsoft products that some of you would know well, like Word or Excel. But some people nowadays use Google and their programs that come with it. So it's really a mess out there. There's all sorts of different ways to create your documents, and people are doing it whatever way they are used to. Programs are each unique to the different types of users that go along with it. So, for example, if a person has an Android phone or a Windows computer, they typically can't read the Apple programs natively. So if you were to have a Pages document, for example, it's just not going to be able to be read by someone with an Android or a Windows computer. And likewise with the Google documents. So you have to send them a little differently from Apple devices if you're sending to somebody that's outside the Apple bubble, as we call it. So this is where PDF comes out to be very helpful. You may be very familiar with PDF. It stands for Portable Document Format, and it was created decades ago to allow for things to work nicely between different types of computers. So it'll be very handy for you to send things to others when you don't know what type of computer or phone they're using. If you're normally sending pictures or videos, these tend to work just fine. They don't need special programs or a special way to send them. But if you're sending a document, and we call these documents, they're something that maybe you've written or you have received from someone else and you've opened it up in Pages and you want to send it to somebody else, the easiest way to send those files is to export them. This is what they call it, export to PDF. Or for that matter, if you use Windows or Excel or Word or PowerPoint and Google, it has its own programs like I mentioned, so you'd be more familiar with those. The people that receive these files that you send to won't be able to change them in the PDF format. They'll just be able to view it, and that's most of the time all you're looking to do is just give them something so they can see the same thing that you're looking at. So back to that document, you have it open. And now you just press those three dots that are up at the top right and look for export. Now, notice it has a little share icon next to it. So you select it. You might have to click continue, but you select the file type you want to send. So in this case, you want to choose PDF. Notice there'll be other options in there. That's a lesson for another time. If you want to send Word format to someone, you can do that, but just talking about PDF for this episode. Then the iPhone or the iPad brings you back to the same menu where you can select that person you want to send to and the way that you want to send it to them. Now, realize that most people can view things like this on their phone, so messages turns out to be a great way to do it. You don't have to always use email. And more I'm using messages for people because they're all capable, it seems, of being able to view these documents right on their phone, and it seems to be the most convenient way for them to get it expediently. The last thing I want to talk about is sending from your Mac. If you have a Mac computer, a MacBook, or any of the Mac products, and you want to send a file from that computer, it's very, very similar to iPhone or iPad. Just go to what they call Finder, and Finder is the program that you use to see all your files listed, so you'd be very familiar with it. And you select the document that you want to send, and you open it, and you'll find that share button up at the top toolbar about 3/4 of the way across over to the right. The key difference I see with Mac is that you choose export and send. So there's a little bit of a difference in the way that they word it, but there you'll choose the file type of PDF and then choose the selection called send a copy. And when you choose that button for send a copy, then the person you want to send to and the way you want to send it will appear, and you'll be able to choose those right below that via messages or email. So the same rules apply here. If you don't use Apple Mail program on your computer, a lot of people just go right to Google Gmail. So if you're not using the Apple Mail, you'll have to set that up on your computer before you'll be able to send from the mail selection. So just use messages if you want to do this and get it done. You can also choose AirDrop if someone is near to you, but that's another topic for another episode. We talk about airdropping from one person to another. Well, that's about it for this topic. Let me know in the comments section if I missed anything you'd like to hear about on this. Also, please take the time to add a like and a review. It helps out a lot. If you've done that already, thank you. And share it with a friend who you think can get something out of it. So until next time, stay tuned for more tech tips for seniors, or anyone really.